Making the headlines this morning, Anambra Governor Soludo presents appointment letters to newly recruited 5,000 teachers. Mamora, Minister of Science Mamora advocates good interpersonal relationships for increased productivity. Mount Semeru, Indonesia raised alarm on volcano erupts on Java Island. Before the news in detail, here is a special message. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let's give him maximum support for the task ahead. Good morning and welcome to the news. My name is Chidima Oranwa. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has said that education is Anambra's present and his future. Governor Soludo stated this on the ceremonial occasion of presentation of appointment letters to the newly recruited 5,000 teachers for the primary and secondary schools in Anambra State. We have the report taken from our studio.
Governor Soludo, while addressing the 5,000 teachers, noted that teaching is not just a job but a vocation and insisted that no other condition other than merit should be the consideration for the recruitment. He further stated that recruitment under his watch must be free, transparent and fair, which he defines as Anambra's standard. The governor congratulated the teachers and noted that professionalism is the watchword of the Anambra's education sector, assuring of on-the-job training to better prepare them for the job. Promising them of prompt payment of salaries, pensions and gratuities, Governor Soludo assured of effective motivation and incentive to improve productivity and output. He highlighted the focus areas on education as contained in his manifesto and maintained that global best practices will continue to be the beacon of his administration.
Anambra schools will continue to meet the best possible pupil-student-teacher ratios. I am particularly happy with the process of the recruitment. Of course, no exercise of this magnitude will go without some complaints here and there, but we are determined to deliver a near-perfect job. We set out from the outset to do something uniquely transparent and with the highest integrity. Teaching is not just a job, it is a vocation, and no one should be employed as a teacher on any consideration other than merit. We must lead by example. On this recruitment exercise, our children need the best teachers, irrespective of where they come from. Whether they come from Malaysia or Argentina or Europe or America, or they come from any state or whatever, the best mathematics teacher is who we are looking to teach our children. The best physics teacher is who we are looking to teach our children. It is what we are. And so, under this recruitment exercise, there are people from other states of Nigeria who have also been recruited. We are looking for the best. Nothing but the best. Anambra is home for the best.
The State Commissioner for Education, Professor Ngozi Chumude, in her address, noted that the rigorous selection process has produced the best, chosen based on capacity and competence. She encouraged them to go and raise children that will conquer the world through delivering productive education. The chairperson, Anambra State Universal Basic Education Board, Dr. Vera Wadinobi, and her Post-Primary School Service Commission counterpart, Professor Nkechi Ikedugu, in their separate speeches, described the governor as a visionary leader and said that the exercise is the foundation to sustainable human capital development. On their parts, Honorable Ejiko Kechukwu, who is the chairman House Committee on Education and the member representing Anocha 2 constituency in the State House of Assembly, and the Chief of Staff to the Governor, Mr. Ernest Ezajui, said that the recruitment signals a rebirth in Anambra's education system and commended Governor Soludo for his commitment towards building a greater future for the state, even as they asked the teachers to live up to the expectations. Igwe Mekonwara of Oruku, while commending the great feat, said that Governor Soludo is already setting transformational legacy, saying that Anambra will forever be grateful. in their vote of thanks, Ms. Adaba Onyeka and Mr. Obed Nwoku, on behalf of the newly recruited teachers, thanked the state government for the opportunity to serve the state and promised to deliver quality services in line with the professional standard practice for the greater good of the state.
I want to massively thank His Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Anambra State, for making education a priority and employing more teachers for quality education in the state, by which means I am with my colleagues here at
I want to, in a special way, appreciate and commend you for this special platform of teacher recruitment you offer to us. This is the only time someone that knows nobody, even has no money to do, was recruited into the teacher scheme. Thank you, Your Excellency.
Out of the 5,000 teachers, 2,500 were posted to primary schools and 2,500 were posted to secondary schools. Symbolic presentation of the appointment letters to the teachers by Governor Soludo climaxed the event as the teachers danced in excitement and joy. In Awka, Valentine Bada reporting for ABS News.
Anambra State Deputy Governor Dr. Onyeka Chukwu-Ibezim says partnership with the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, and other donor agencies in many sectors will help save lives and respond promptly to emergencies. Correspondent Lesson Dennis reports that Dr. Ibezim made the assertion at the handover of emergency supplies from the UNICEF to Anambra State government for post-flood intervention in communities in 7 local government areas of the state. Her report.
You recall that 35 states were devastated by flood this year, with over 7 local government areas being the worst hit in Anambra. Dr. Ibezim explained that the donation from UNICEF, other donor agencies, will ensure effective response to the acute health care needs of the people in the affected communities, and called on all the commissioners, transition committee chairmen, president general of various communities in the state, among others, to join hands in order to alleviate the suffering of the people in the affected areas. He commended UNICEF and other donor agencies for their timely intervention, calling for more assistance to ameliorate the plights of the people affected by the flood, even as he restated the state government's commitment to finding permanent solutions to the menace.
Interministerial approach to whatever we're doing. Mr. Governor is a stickler for teamwork.
Do we go on repairing the bridges and 4 or 5 years after we have this kind of devastation? And to me, I don't know about other people, the answer is a big no. So we must. There are countries that live on water. In seeking solutions to this, we've spoken to the Netherlands. They live on water, and whatever they have done, we want to go by it, and 60% of the people affected are children, with around 2.8 million. I'm sure it's more than that. With more states being affected and all that, I think the data is going on. And the problem we have in this country, which we are also improving on, is data. Anything that is not measured, you cannot intervene.
At the handover of the emergency supplies in Awka, UNICEF Field Officer Mrs. Juliet Chinwe Chinemba said the body is working with the Anambra State government to provide medical services and strengthen disease surveillance across the 7 affected local government areas to ensure timely response to any disease outbreak. While thanking the state government and other partners for their concern, the UNICEF Field Officer noted that UNICEF is concerned about the health of the people affected by the flood, especially children under 5 years, from contracting diseases.
In relation to UNICEF, we are mainly focused on child protection, whereby in child protection we are looking at 3 pillars: psychosocial support, reunification, and also empowering communities to mitigate gender-based violence. In relation to the health,
We are working closely with the primary healthcare services to address waterborne and vaccine-preventable childhood diseases.
Dignitaries at the event include the Executive Secretary, Anambra State Emergency Management Agency, SEMA Chief Paul Odeniwo, Commissioner for Power and Mineral Resources, Engineer Julius Chukwuemeka, as well as the Commissioner for Women and Social Welfare, Mrs. Ifi Obinabo. In Okao, I am Blessing Dennis for ABS News.
Federal Government and International Fund for Agricultural Development Value Chain Department Program consultant Dr. Francis Nwalena says good seed and proper land preparation can produce 6 to 10 tons of rice production yearly in Anambra. The International Fund for Agricultural Development consultant, who stated this during the program's midterm review that is ongoing in the state, also described the learning abilities of Anambra farmers as commendable. Correspondent Chibuzo Obidike has the report.
VCDP delegation are in Anambra State for the annual midterm review mission of the Value Chain Development Program in order to assess the progress made by the Value Chain Development Program up to date and identify the challenges faced and also weigh their opportunities. Given their assessments from the inspection of Asia in Ihiala local government area, Isulo and Oboji in Orumba South local government area, Dr. Nwanere acknowledged that the state has the right farmers to drive the agricultural revolution of the state, but frowned at the attitude of farmers who depend on their harvest for replanting instead of going for new agronomical seed stocks for bountiful results. He revealed that through the African rice variety, they have developed flood tolerance rice, which the VCDP are ready to procure and train farmers on usage and addressing the issue of mechanization as part of efforts in reducing the challenges faced by farmers.
We have developed flood tolerant rice that we think farmers can do. So it's for the program, which is the VCDP, to come to Africa Rice, to procure these varieties and then train the farmers how to produce them. That is one. Two, the other issue is the issue of mechanization. It's key for rice. You must know how to mechanize, how to prepare your land. And even also just how to harvest. This is a small acreage, so you can do just manual and harvesting. But on a big acreage, using threshers is key. And we can also train our youth to be able to fabricate this machine so that the price can come down, so that farmers can be able to just apply them.
Some of the beneficiaries, Mrs. Fidelis Ozo, a rice farmer, Engineer Chedi Opala, a cassava farmer, Mrs. Chinaza Nwafo, a point of sale operator, and Mrs. Philomena Ekemezie, a nutritionist, individually shared their growth in the various cooperatives and as well listed some of their challenges in farming and asked for more support for the expansion of their businesses.
They also create an avenue that this thing is not a business. Because if I do transaction, maybe you want to withdraw money or you want to deposit, I have my own commission. So, like from my area, is a rural environment. From my area to where we have bank, to cost nothing less than 1,000 naira. But with help of this, you can easy as at least 100 naira to 1,000 naira. You cannot compare. Yeah, there is a margin, great distance. With the help of a value chain, they have trained us on this recipe. This vitamin A cassava recipe. This chin-chin, this combo rice, and the rest of them is not here. So we've learned many things from this recipe, and we are there introducing it to people that with vitamin A, that they know that the good benefit of it, that it is improve the body system, the immune system. And whenever your immune system is built, there is nothing like disease that can penetrate easily into your body.
From Oboji, in Orumba South local government area, Chibuzo Obidike, ABS News.
The Old Boys Association of Boys Secondary School Ogidi, now Archbishop Hiri Technical College Ogidi, has flagged off a building project for their alma mater. The flag off ceremony was attended by members of the National Executive Council of the Association, Board of Trustees, Project Debt Recovery Committee, and Project Implementation Subcommittee. Njideka Okoye has details of this report.
Laying the foundation stone of the building project, the principal and manager of the school, Reverend Father Peter Wadimpa, who performed the function on behalf of the Archbishop of Onitsha and Metropolitans of Onitsha Ecclesiastical Province, Most Reverend Valerian Okeke, expressed happiness over the commencement of the building project, which he said is what the school has been longing for, as it will help them a lot. Father Nwadimkpa thanked God that the project has been officially inaugurated to take off, and the Old Boys Association of the school for embarking on such project.
It's something that we have been longing for. This building is very important. It's going to really be a strategic building for the school. I'm very happy for the Old Boys. The president is here, the members of the executives are here, and we thank them so much.
Speaking, the national president of the Old Boys Association, Dr. Okechukwu Okafor, who said that the school has gone through some transformation as the government brought it back to mission to work together to produce both morally and academically bright students that will be useful to themselves and to the society. Noted that the association, which has been in existence since 1991 with the aim to give back to the school that trained and made them what they are in the society today, has done numerous projects and embarking on new ones in the school.
School has gone through some transformation. The government brought it back to the missionaries that actually founded it so that they can work together to produce morally and academically bright students that are useful to themselves and the society. So we came together as the Old Boys of the school, and one of the things we do is to give back to the school that trained us and made us what we are in the society today.
In this project now, apart from the offices, we have a hall that will take like 600 students. So we know that they don't have a good hall here. So they will use the hall for meetings, for functions. Even outsiders can still use the hall for weddings. That will be sort of income for the school.
In their remarks, the National Secretary and Public Relations Officer of the Association, Honorable James Nwabia, and Chief Capture Tochukwu Okaro of the Diaspora Branch of the Association commended the initiative of the Old Boys Association, noting that the complex, when completed, will house administrative block, hall, classrooms, and other facilities, assuring completion of the project soon. Others who spoke to ABS at the ceremony were one of the members of the Old Boys Association and a teacher in the school, Comrade Anthony Obakamma, and Barrister Chukwemeka Ebuna of Enugu branch of the association, among others. Stone laying proper, cutting of tape, and visits to some packed materials, including rods, cements, among others, formed the highlights of the event. From Boys Secondary School, Ogidi, Njideka Okoye, ABS News.
The Operation Clean and Healthy Anambra Ocha Brigade has continued with this internally generated revenue drive against defaulting tricycle and shuttle bus drivers, as well as park operators in different parts of the state. The move against the tax defaulters took the agency to Onitsha, Nnewi and environs. Correspondent Kenechukwu Chukwudi filed in this report.
Speaking during the enforcement exercise, the managing director of the Operation Clean and Healthy Anambra, Mr. Celestine Anere, urged tricycle and shuttle bus drivers to promptly pay their tax as defaulters will face stipulated consequences, and assured the transporters that their complaints against those who still collect revenue illegally will be dealt with. Mr. Anere also maintained that motor parks that operate illegally must also be checkmated to ensure that they are properly registered, have the needed facilities, and pay approved fees to the government. The managing director of Operation Clean and Healthy Anambra assured that the exercise will be a continuous one.
We want to make sure that they are paying their revenue direct to the state government, while also trying to eliminate the menace of Agboro in Anambra State.
The task force also pulled down illegal structures of street sellers who sell goods on the road, drainages, causing gridlock for humans and vehicles, while also blocking the drainages with refuse. It's been Kenechukwu Chukwudi for ABS News.
The Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation in Nigeria, Dr. Adeleke Mamora, says his priority is to enhance productivity, progress and good interpersonal relationships in the ministry. The minister, who stated this during a parley with the media in Abuja on the activities of the ministry within the 5 months of his regime, said he hopes to achieve this by ensuring that all management and staff of the ministry imbibe the principle of the 5 C's, which are cooperation, collaboration, coordination, communication and cordiality in their interactions. ABS Abuja Bureau Chief Ekwi Ajide completes the report.
He noted that imbibing these principles will assist the various departments and agencies in the ministry work in cohesion. Dr. Mamora railed out some achievements of his administration to include putting in place an arrangement for a planetarium and broadband facilities through NASDRA via a public-private partnership, the National Policy on Welding approved by the Federal Executive Council in October, which will facilitate the process of industrialization in Nigeria, the production of a 6-cylinder IC engine component for automobile industries by the Product Development Institute, PRODA, among others. The minister also listed critical policy documents to include revised 2022 STI policy, National STI Roadmap, and the Technical Committee on Implementation Plan for STI policy, registration and release of new varieties of crops and livestock breeds for private seed companies and public research institutions, and a host of other achievements continuously recorded by agencies under the ministry.
The Federal Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation, through one of our agencies, that's NASDA, Space Research and Development Agency, has through a public-private partnership, PPP, been able to put in place arrangements for a planetarium and broadband facilities. The ministry, through the Nigerian Institute of Science and Laboratory Technology, equips the International Junior Science Olympiad Laboratory with modern science equipment. Our ministry, through the Project Development Institute, PRODA, at Enugu, produced a 6-cylinder IC engine component for automobile industries, and this has reduced importation and increased foreign exchange.
Earlier, the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Mrs. Monilola Udo, had stressed the importance of STI and efforts of the Science, Technology and Innovation Ministry at sensitizing the populace on the benefits of STI for economic growth.
I see the urgent need for every person to be informed with the activities, projects, programs, and achievements of the ministry. I am optimistic that you will find it worthwhile. The contributions and the questions that will be addressed.
In Abuja, Princess Ekwi Ajide, ABS News.
2 teams at least have been eliminated from the 2022 World Cup in Qatar. The 2 teams are the United States of America and Australia. The USA crashed out of the ongoing World Cup in Qatar after losing 3-1 against the Netherlands in the last 16 on yesterday evening. Memphis Depay, Daley Blind and Denzel Dumfries scored the goals for Louis van Gaal's side against the USA. Australia, meanwhile, lost 2-1 against Argentina. Lionel Messi and Julian Alvarez scored the goals for the La Albacete against Australia. Remember that you can follow news and programs on ABS from any part of the world by liking our Facebook page at ABS Radio Television Orca. Subscribe to our YouTube page at ABS Television Orca. Follow us on Instagram at ABS Radio TV. You can also log on to our website at www.absradiotv.com. And now the main points again. Anambra State Governor Soludo has presented appointment letters to newly recruited 5,000 teachers. Anambra government has received emergency supplies from UNICEF for post-flood intervention. Minister of Science Mamora has advocated for good interpersonal relationships for increased productivity. And here's a special message before we go. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround, maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let's give him maximum support for the task ahead. And that's it on the news at 7. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Chidimma Oranwa. Good morning.